Yo, what's going on, guys? And today I wanted to talk about my NBA MVP race at the end of the season. So let's get right into it. And let's talk about the criteria used for this. Shout out the Athletic Zach Harper for helping me for this. But the criteria is crazy stats. We will judge a lot of these awards based on just how incredible your numbers are. In this era of offensive statistical explosion, that becomes even more imperative. If you're not studying history, are you even the most valuable player of your season? Second, player impact. How does this team fare without their player involved? Okay, the on-off net rating has a lot of noise and should be utilized with full lineup data, and as well as team success. It is rare for a team that has below 50 plus wins to end up employing an MVP candidate. The more team success, the more feathers you can ruffle. And then perceived value is something I don't hold super high because screw the NBA media and fans. So I don't think that's something, but definitely narrative and clutch performances. So let's talk about the honorable mentions. DeMar DeRozan of the Chicago Bulls had a career year this year, and it was fantastic, but he's not going to win MVP. Steph Curry was on fire for the first third of the season. He's not going to win another MVP. Jason Tatum has led the Boston Celtics from a midseason turnaround to the best defensive team in the league. Not going to win the MVP. Kevin Durant has had a great season, has been phenomenal when on the court, missed too many games, not going to win the MVP. And Ja Morant, he's missed the end of the year basically, and he's been incredible. The Grizzlies are arguably the best team in the NBA. Not record-wise, but second best record-wise. But they have beat the first team. And it's a coin flip between the fifth spot and Ja Morant. And I'm sorry Ja Morant wasn't in my fifth spot. And the reason why is because of the injuries. I had to put this other guy in the fourth spot. But Ja Morant in my fifth spot, which is Luka Doncic, it literally was a coin flip because I just think Doncic, playing the end of the year and Ja Morant just kind of pushed him over. And I think DeMar DeRozan has fallen out as great as his season has been. I don't think Tatum has been quite good enough as great as his season been. And the problem with Morant's candidacy for MVP is the Grizzlies' success in a large number of games missed by their star point guard. So that doesn't keep him off an All-NBA team, but it does keep him off the MVP. So now, Luka Doncic in fifth place for me. Doncic has been lifting the Mavericks so much this second half, and they have a legit shot at taking the number 3 Golden State Warriors. And his numbers don't make sense most nights, and he's been on fire since the All-Star break. This is a team under 500 when Luka Doncic doesn't play. Luka versus Ja versus DeMar versus Tatum is, a very contentious argument because any of those guys could finish fifth here, but I really think Luka Doncic should be the fifth. Just this team's number 1 in defense, basically. It's been so much fun. Now, 4. Devin Booker, he's just been on fire, and just seeing what they were able to do without Chris Paul. And I know you could say, Devin Booker could have been an honorable mention, but I think the impressive nature of Booker is just staggering. He's helped lead the Phoenix Suns to the best record in the NBA by far. He's been the best player on the Phoenix Suns and arguably the best shooting guard in the entire NBA. And while others have flashed, Booker has just become the model of consistency. He's a leader, he's a defender, he's a playmaker, and he's just a natural-born killer with the ball in his hands. The best player on the best team in the league. The Suns don't miss a beat with Paul out, especially because they have Devin Booker. Now in third place, Joel Embiid. If you're going to argue that Joel Embiid should be the MVP, then you think the 76ers' star ability is elite at both ends of the floor. I mean, he has a defensive presence that is all-consuming. His offensive presence is basically overwhelming like Shaq was. But the problem with this man and Joel Embiid's season is that the thing is Jokic has the same number of wins and Jokic has played more games. So you can't use the argument for Embiid when putting him up against Giannis. The best you can hope for is voters have fatigue against Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, in second place, I have Giannis Antetokounmpo because I think it's a very tight race between Antetokounmpo, Jokic, and Embiid. Booker probably needs to be accounted for more heavily, but it feels like from the public's perception, it's a 3-man race between Antetokounmpo, Jokic, and Embiid. And if we're going to nitpick with each weekly update, I know Giannis this week has been absurd. He cemented a huge win over Embiid in Philadelphia and then followed that up against Brooklyn and Kevin Durant. His numbers are absurd. He might end up winning Defensive Player of the Year again. And the Bucks are in pursuit of the number one leading up to the final night of the season. So I think there's going to be voter fatigue, and that's why I think if you look at Jokic, who's averaged the past week 33 points, 15 rebounds, and 9.5 assists with 73% from the field, and that happened against 3 mediocre to bad opponents. Impressive numbers, still sounds like it should be in his favor, but man, oh man, crazy, crazy season. I want to hear your thoughts. Final three, Jokic, Embiid, and Antetokounmpo. I have Jokic winning it again.